Hi everyone, it's Julia. I'm working on another sweatshirt transformation. I've got a color comfort sweatshirt, and this is the color Yam, and this is the style 1466, which is a little bit lighter weight than the 1566 and is 100% cotton. Does not have side seams, and so I'm smoothing this out and just trying to get it as flat as I can so I can cut approximately 6 inches above that band all the way up on the side. I just like making these little side seams open. It's just a little bit more wiggle room and just add some comfort. Just flipping this over now, and I'm going to cut this one at the same, approximately 6 inches above the bottom band. And now for the sleeve, I'm going to cut the cuffs off approximately 3/4 of an inch above that seam. And I'm just cutting it in a single layer just to get it somewhat straight. And then we'll be cutting the same one, the other one the same way. And now for the around the band or the neck band, just going to cut that folded edge off. And then the bottom band, just in the front, I'm cutting right down the middle. And then I'm going to save that little piece, but I'm cutting an inch off of it first. So I have two different 1-inch squares. And then this part of it's going to be the cord. And so I'm just pinning right sides together there, and I'll be stitching that at my sewing machine. And now I'm grabbing my sharp scissors. I'm going to list all these products down below for you. I love these scissors for this type of work, just really sharp. And I'm cutting at approximately a 1/2 inch or so, little fringes. And I'm just cutting that top layer. And this is on the bottom band right now. And this is going to curl a little bit when it's washed, but does not fray. This is a pretty stable knit, so I don't have problems with the fraying, but it will curl. I love the dimension of it. It's just really cool. I'm doing the neckline, and the same way, just that top layer of that. And now for the cuff. The cuff is going to be my pocket. I want to open it up, so I'm just cutting down by the seam and then removing that seam. And then doing little slits again on that little piece of fabric there, approximately a 1/2 inch apart, all the way across the cuff. And the other cuff, I want to open it and then cut above that seam. And I'm not going to use this part of it. That's going to be discarded. Cut the seam away. And then I'm going to iron this. You're going to always see that seam, or that down the middle, that folded part down the middle. It's a little bit lighter in color. These are pigment dyed sweatshirts, and so you're going to see that, but it's cute anyway. It's just a wonderful way to add a pocket. This is going to get stitched to the top, and I want to just pin that into place. Just putting a couple pins, and then I'm rounding the corners. And now for those 1-inch little squares, I'm just taking a piece, or just taking my glue stick and ironing, or just going to glue that into place. And it's approximately 6 inches above the bottom edge, right on the top of the sleeve. And I'm going to poke a hole right in the middle. I'm just going to use my crocodile for that and mark it and then punch it. This is going to add a little detail. I'm going to put a cord through this for the bottom of the sleeve. And then punch this one too. This was a fun design because I'm not using any extra fabric. I'm just going to be taking pieces from the same sweatshirt and cutting it, and it was really fun. Easy thing to do. Back to my sewing machine now, and I am going to be doing some free motion stitching around this 1-inch little patch that I put on the sleeve. I'm going around the edge, and then I am going to just stitch several times around that little punched hole. I do have my sleeve around my open arm, and so here's my open arm again, and I'm putting the other one around my open arm, and I'm going to do the same thing. I did leave this glue stick dry, and then I don't have any problems with the gumming. And then around and around this circle. I'm going to be switching to my regular presser foot now, and I'm just going to straight stitch the top of this pocket into place, and I'm just going to stitch right in the ditch or right on the other seam there, just kind of peeking once in a while to make sure that I'm catching the bottom and it's in the place I want it to be. I just have my regular thread on, and I have the same colored thread as this rust colored thread on the bottom, in the bobbin and on top. And now to stitch that cord or the thing for the little sleeves, just folding this in half and approximately 1/4 of an inch away. I just want to make a fabric tube with it. Back to my table, and I'm pinning that pocket into place just approximately, I mean, it's right above the bottom band. And then to stitch that pocket on, I'm going to be using it's called an applique stitch on my machine, but it looks like almost like a blanket stitch. And it just kind of covers that seam. Just remove that one fray on the edge there. It was kind of in the way. I didn't know what to do with it, but I snipped it off. And again, snipping that one end there, fringe off. And then going all the way up, and I hold it into place a little bit just to make sure that top is secured to the top of the pocket. And now for the side seams, that side vent, I'm using that same stitch. I think you could use a zigzag stitch for this as well. But I do want to mention I don't stitch right up into that bottom band at all. I start and finish above it. You can see me, I'm going to stop right here. I don't like it, the stitching in that band. It just they never lay quite right. And then for the sleeve, real simple, I'm just going to zigzag this. I'm going to turn it up and then zigzag it into place. And I do have this around my open plate again, my open arm. Just going to give that vent, that side seam, just a little bit of a press, and then it lays really nice. It's a wonderful way to finish that off. And now my cord, I turned it right side out, and I'm getting this through that hole and then just tying it off. I cut it in half, so I have two cords now. You need approximately 8 inches of a cord to do this and to get a nice tie. I would say 6 to 8 inches. And I have some pictures at the end. I put one of my necklaces with it. I love just the one color on this sweatshirt. It just kind of adds it for a great fall look. I hope you enjoyed this, everybody. I hope you have a chance to create this week. Bye for now.